So it's day one of officially working from home indefinitely for social isolation purposes. I basically worked from home about 50 to 75% of the time before because I have a back injury. And it was easier to just deal with like the PT I was supposed to be doing and the best practices when I was at home. So I'm already really well set up for it. I have an extra monitor. Oh, it's Inception. And I have purchased a gaming headset so I can hear and speak at the same time. I did not realize what makes it a gaming headset is that you can hear everything that's going on around you as well. So that's not super ideal since my husband will be staying home as well. But, I've got my office mates. Oh, we've got one of them coming over now. Hey, Lilo. Say hi. Yeah, she's a little cutie. She likes to smell my breath. She likes to smell anyone's breath. So she's definitely going to get the Rona. JK, animals can't get it. What is? Well, that's pretty much it. Matt and I did a 30-minute walk this morning where we socially distance ourselves from anyone who was out. It was mostly people walking their dogs. People seem to be in a like stay inside mindset, but we know that we both need exercise and we'll go crazy if we're not allowed like out of the house at all. And it's not about never leaving, it's about making sure that you're not spreading it, right? So like when you are in common areas of your apartment complex, for example, like don't cough on shit and don't lick the doorknobs and things like that. And when you go out, like it's okay to go out into the outside. You can't just like usually catch it from the air, but don't talk to other people. Don't touch a bunch of crap while you're out. Like it doesn't seem that hard to me to follow the directions. That being said, we also don't have kids, which I grow more and more grateful for every time something like this happens. I do want kids eventually, and we will have them, I believe, but I'm very glad we don't have them right now. I really feel for those of you that are stuck with your kids 24/7. I mean, it's not being like stuck with them. Oh, hey, I'm doing my morning blog. I was just saying that I'm glad we don't have a toddler. And then I feel bad for people that do. Yeah.
Being with Kate for a couple hours is enough at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24/7 of that for the next 8 weeks.
There's a reason why it takes a village.
So
yeah. Don't go insane.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we'll have to like make quarantine communities for the future because this is going to happen again. So like if everyone self-quarantines with like about 100 other people, you can still not go insane.
Yeah.
But then you don't pass it on to other groups.
Well, I was telling Matt I have this idea for like a young adult sci-fi where you're like genetically tested by the government within your like quarantine community to see like whose immunogenetics would mix the best together.
So if you're like would there be like people like if they're a mutant they can't mate within their own community?
Can I explain it first because I didn't even get to that part yet.
I jumped ahead. I'm thinking about different things.
It's kind of like I'm telling them they haven't heard about it.
I know.
It's kind of like a almost like an arranged marriage where you get like your matches of people that you're genetically compatible with to like increase the immunity of your offspring, and you have to choose from that pool of people, and getting married and starting a family ends up being like a really big choice because you're potentially having to leave your own community depending on how like your genes mix with the other person. So maybe it's like when you have your first kid, you like start your own little household of immunity. I don't know. It's just an idea.
Yeah, if you marry somebody else, maybe you'll accidentally kill grandma, or you can never see grandma. Maybe.
Right, like you have to give up. Because this is an even more extreme version of what already happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I think it's a great idea, because you can play with existing social hierarchies in a sci-fi way, which is perfect.
Yeah. And we were also talking about how this is kind of like settler life. Like I used to read Little House on the Prairie a lot, and this is like what they would do. They would never interact with anyone outside their families, and they would go home and play cards at night until it got too dark, and then they would go to bed. That's all we're doing.
I've got this idea for this like, I want to write a story about a colony ship, a self-replicating colony ship that would go and eat mass and then split and divide. And I want to have a storyline about how everyone's reshuffling their political structures as they're going to divide in the mass. But a quarantine episode would be great, like a BSG style quarantine episode, like where everyone is just like stuck in their rooms. Like somebody gets sick off of a novel illness off the algae vats, and everyone's just like stuck in their room, and you do a bunch of character studies as like relationships get tested.
Yeah,
that would be kind of anyway.
Really want to rewatch BSG.
That's what we'll do later.
Anyway, it's been about 6 minutes, so I'm gonna actually get to work, seeing as it's my first official Corona work from home day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.